Hey guys, glad you're watching this video. Let's talk about turquoise and let's get out there and make some money. We're going to start over here. This is kind of a variety of jewelry. And let's just say you were in a store, a thrift store or a estate sale, and you've seen something like this. I just want to point out in general, if you haven't messed with turquoise, what it's going to kind of look like. You'll see some pieces here. You'll see this little guy here, this long thing. Some of these turquoise rings are real long. And they're actually called finger rings because they're so long. You'll see something like this, and you'll even see one like this where they use shell, natural shell, and turquoise. So that's kind of what you want to look out for. You see the blue and blue. Sometimes there'll be a little bit of red coral with the turquoise. Sometimes turquoise might look a little greenish blue, and that's okay. And then I want to show you some of these pieces here. These are large arm cuffs that would be worn on the wrist, kind of like that. Now we're finding less and less of this, but it's still out there. It is still out there. So what I wanted to talk about today was the different kinds of turquoise, silver that the turquoise is in, and beware, and just some varieties and what happens. A really good piece would be something like this belt buckle here. It's got the badger claw in it. It's got the red turquoise. Now you see how blood red this is? This is called ox blood red. And then this turquoise, and then all this work, little scrollies, all this is done by hand. You know, this isn't machine made. And some of these families that make this stuff, it's generational. It's the grandfather, the son, and the grandson. And as far back as I know, in my education about it, this stuff was done in the late 30s into the 40s and started getting sold to tourists. And some of it was taken to pawn shops. They would pawn their silver jewelry and to get seeds to grow crops. And then when the crop come in and made good, they go back and get their jewelry back. It's called old pawn. But be careful with that. There's some trickery about old pawn. A lot of this turquoise will have this element, which is here. And you know, you could say that's a leaf, but a lot of people say it's feathers. I tend to think it's feathers. They use a lot of natural elements. You know, they like the turquoise because it represented water and the sky, you know, Mother Earth and things like that. But look at some of the work they do. A lot of these pieces are cut out by hand. They're hand sawn, they're hand hammered to get the machine marks in them. And it's all soldered on. These little pieces are all fitted. That's what I want to talk about next, is the way stones are fitted. You'll notice on this piece, that little zigzaggy bezel, that's called a sawtooth bezel, and that's typical. So look for that bezel when the stone is set. Some of the not so real stuff is the stones are just glued in, but these are actually set and these are mashed on and burnished on. Some of it will be smooth set, like this ring here will have a smooth bezel, similar to the...
That one's not smooth.
Yeah, it's not smooth? Oh, it's sawtooth. My bad. I'm sorry.
More like the inlay, like that inlay is smooth.
Yeah, you have a smooth bezel here.
Right.
It won't have the sawtooth. Same principle, but a good telltale sign is that sawtooth. But some of them will be smooth. Second thing I want to talk about is the different tribes that made this. Most of it is, from what I understand, the natives seen the Spanish all had their bridles all fancied up with silver, and some of this first old turquoise was actually made from hammered coins.
That one is.
This is the oldest piece I own. So this is more likely a coin hammered out. And you notice that this ain't a lot of work because this piece is so old, they didn't have a lot of the tools. So
well, look right there on that very edge.
Yeah.
Hope I'm getting that.
Yeah.
It was like,
but this is a very, very old piece, probably the oldest piece I own.
turn it over for the mark.
Yeah.
Kind of flip it up a little bit. So
Here's the mark here, right here. I'll hold it real still. It used to be stamped with some kind of mark. And you can research these marks. You know, there's so many. Another one we look for this generational thing is, you'll see this snake head here.
My Effie's missing a...
Yeah, she's missing a little eye inset. This is a mother-daughter. I believe now the daughter is still making the jewelry, but she used those little eyes on that snake head.
It's marked on the inside.
Yeah, yeah, it'll usually be marked Effie.
It is.
I don't know if we're going to be able to pick these marks up with the GoPro here, but it should be right there. But this is a family thing, passed down, passed down.
There's another piece of Effie right over here.
Yeah, I've got another one here.
Right over there, it's a tie tack.
Yeah, this little tie tack here.
See?
I'll show you the back. This goes on a tie, and then see the snake head comes around. That's her signature mark, is that snake head with the blue eyes. Now, I don't know the colors. Maybe her daughter might use different colors.
I think she uses coral.
Yeah, in the eyes. But, and be careful. The Effie jewelry is faked a lot by, you know, across the pond there, which they fake, counterfeit everything. But this is something to look for, is Effie. There's lots of names that can be collectible. And here's another example here.
That's Mexican.
Yeah, this is Mexican. Now, some Mexican silver is not silver at all. But some of the better pieces, like Tasco, they're actually 925, and they'll be stamped 925. I don't know if we're going to be able to...
I believe that bracelet is.
Yeah.
Right, open it up,
okay.
and it's right on the back side.
Yeah, let's open this up.
It's on the edge of this one over here.
Okay. And we'll show you here. It'll be marked right there, 925. It usually say Tasco. Now this stuff has become collectible because of the work. And they use a lot of abalone. They use turquoise too, and different.
That was my grandma Cordy's.
Yeah, this is my wife's grandmother's. Here's something very similar. This is a little pin. It's got the abalone and all hand done. And it's sterling, and it has a mark here on the wing. Let's see if we can see that. It'd be right in that area there.
Yeah.
We're just not really sure if the GoPro's gonna, this is a trial run here.
Well, we're still new at this.
Yeah, that's right.
They're still new at this.
Now here's a piece, this is not silver. This is just a piece of costume jewelry.
And somebody made it up.
Yeah, and somebody rounded up some little nuggets and kind of epoxy glued them on there. But I have a habit, if I see turquoise, I'll pick it up, regardless of something like this is done.
Because it's real.
Yeah, that's real turquoise. Here's an example of not real turquoise, and that's kind of what I wanted this video to be about.
That is Chinese.
Yeah,
dye.
they take dyed howlite, white howlite, and dye it with pigment, and the color's just off. And you can tell, comparing this color to some of these other colors, it's just off. It's almost neon blue. And I brought another example here. This ain't a bad ring. This is a sterling silver ring that's been rhodium coated. This is something more modern. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This probably isn't real turquoise. This is not, I can just tell by looking at it, Chinese or something. And the stone's just glued in. Now it looks like there's a bezel there, but it's not. This is just glued in. This, you know, this ain't gonna take any kind of wear at all. This eventually just fall off.
Well, you've had that in your jewelry box for years.
Yeah.
And
never know
you see it. Yeah, you'd never know. Hold up one of your other rings that you have.
I've had this ring for
years.
years.
But look at the difference in the patina on that.
Yeah. And you notice in the background here, you see this black, and down in these grooves is black. If you find a piece of turquoise in sterling jewelry, don't get rid of this black. This was intentionally put there. They used it's called liver of sulfur. It's a mild chemical that they put on there to turn this black. It actually oxidizes the silver. to get it to turn like this beautiful flat black. When you polish one of these, or if you want to clean it, you just rub them with a jeweler's cloth
On the high side.
on the high surfaces. Don't ever, never try to get rid of this black. That is desired by collectors to be there. I have picked up some pieces, me and my wife, where somebody thought, you know, for instance, these two pieces here.
I'm right up on it.
Yeah. You'll notice the black's been cleaned out. They probably used something like Tarnax or some harsh chemical, thinking that that black made it look dirty. Whereas here it hadn't been cleaned out, and this is what's, you want to leave that black in there and just polish the surface with a cloth. Now this can be re-blackened. I wouldn't recommend that if you haven't fooled with jewelry. I've been around this a long time, and I've did a lot of experiments, and without liver sulfur I can get the black back, but it's a lot of work to polish the silver
Also,
back out.
Let them know what they put underneath the stone to set it.
Good, that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Underneath these turquoise pieces, they'll use sawdust and sometimes even really fine ground cork, almost like a powder, that they'll put in here first and then set the stone, because with hot and cold and temperature variations, the stone can actually move up and down microscopically, of course, and that makes it, gives it the longevity. And if I had a piece with a stone out, obviously you wouldn't see the
well, you
powder.
replaced that one in my ring.
Yeah, I've done some
That one right
for my
there.
wife, and
No, this one.
this
Yep.
one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now this particular ring, I believe this is a Tasco setting, but I cut this stone, put it in there for my wife. I think it was her very first turquoise ring, or second turquoise ring. So I just got a piece of turquoise and shaped it up and set it in there, and actually put the sawdust underneath it, real fine, really fine powder,
Yep.
that it sets against.
And it's been great for 20
And
years.
yeah, and that's 20 years ago, and it's
Yeah.
still holding up.
Sure is.
Now another thing that'll happen to turquoise over time is it'll go from this beautiful blue color,
Sorry.
and just from wearing it and the age, it'll start to take on a greenish color. I'm sure originally this piece here had more bluish color, but it's so old and it's seen so much time, it's starting to take on a little bit of a greenish hue, and that's perfectly normal. And that's also something to look for, is it to turn green.
Well, and it comes from different colors, come from different mines.
Yes, there's all these mines. There's Kingsman, there's Bisbee. Yeah, my wife's got a beautiful bracelet here that's Bisbee. It's the robin's egg blue, sky blue. It's just so pretty.
That's a Tasco piece too.
It is a Tasco?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Now, here's something else. You can find it as small as this. I'm going to use my little matchstick
There's
here.
a pair of earrings that go
Yeah.
with that. That
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine doing all this work at this level? It's just simply amazing.
It's probably for a child,
Yeah,
because natives do
train
like
their,
their adornments
yeah.
and their jewelry.
Now this piece here, this was just a hat band I picked up, similar to a concha belt. But each one of these is handmade, each one, and then set with a little piece of turquoise.
Right.
And when I purchased this, they really didn't know what they had. And I believe I got this for, I believe, $10.
Yeah.
And it's an older piece, maybe from the 70s, maybe the 60s. That's another thing. I'd like you guys to learn. I mean, it's hard. This is my wife's bracelet here. I got her. It's got the oxblood red coral in it. And see how red it is? Some of this new coral, because of, you know, protecting the environment, and I'm all for that. It'll be an orangey coral or a dyed coral. But this is true blood red coral that
That
they.
one over, I think that one's got a mark on it also.
I think it's marked.
I'm sure it is on
Yeah, it's
that.
right here.
Right there.
Yep. See the mark there?
JMC.
Yep. JMC.
I love that bracelet.
But you'll start noticing similarities with these elements. Like some of the big squashes have, they look like trumpets sticking out. That's actually a replicating a squash blossom, you know, on a plant. And like this piece, this particular piece is Hopi, because they do more of the puzzle type, they'll do a man in a puzzle, or and that's made by the Hopi Indians. And this is more likely Navajo. And sometimes you'll see a blend of Zuni and Navajo kind of together.
Well, we got two Zuni pieces.
Yeah.
Got the Thunderbird.
Yeah, now here's a Zuni piece. They're known for their inlay work. Super fine inlay. Just beautiful. Every one of those pieces you see is all hand
and
cut.
you also have a Thunderbird on yours.
Yeah, let's see if...
But it's a different styling.
Yeah, I think this is what they call a medicine peyote bird. This is also Zuni inlaid. And the older stuff, they didn't really skimp on the silver. It'll have some substantial weight. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. You know, don't take a piece like this to a pawn shop just because it's silver. They don't care what this is. They throw it up on the scale. They try to subtract, you know, maybe the weight of this turquoise, and they're going to buy this for scrap. And that's just an awful shame. The amount of work that went into it, the value in this turquoise jewelry is the craftsmanship and the artistry. There are museums now and galleries that show these as art. It's a form of art. And we've had this stuff. This is part of our collection that we've acquired over the 20 years.
That your grandpa left you.
Yeah, the two rings. My grandpa left me these two rings as a set, and I'll try to show you here underneath. They're double banded. A lot of turquoise is double banded. I have seen them even triple banded.
Got some really cool markings in that.
Yeah, one of them's got a, I believe it's a Roadrunner, and the other one looks like a Thunderbird mark. And these are old pawn pieces that I guess when I was a kid I liked them. Maybe I liked this bull. I don't really know, but he left these for me, so I would never part with them. They're very sentimental. And but I did pick up this piece here, this nugget piece, and this one, and this one has a piece of red coral. Now there's a lot of stuff like this too. It's just, you know, sand casted or lost wax casted. And a lot of this come out around the 70s.
Show your big piece.
Which one?
The big tooth.
Oh yeah. Pick this up.
I don't know what that
is. I don't really know a lot about this one, but
I know it's Native.
I do know it's Native American made.
Did you get that in Michigan?
You know, I can't remember. I believe so.
I think so.
And silver, and it's got stones set all the way around it, and big old tooth or tusk
from
or something.
What, though?
Well, I don't know.
I think it must be from
maybe a wild boar or something. And came on this big cable sterling chain.
Crazy.
And they thought this was costume or something, and I probably picked it up again for. I never try to pay more than $20 for anything.
Do the bullet. That one's.
Yeah, this is another odd piece.
That's a really unique.
I believe what they were doing here is replicating a bullet from the backside, and then on the front they just set this little piece in here.
And that is called a squash blossom. See the little flower at the top?
Yeah.
And the leaves that come down?
Yeah. You'd be a flower, and then the leaves. And it's got a place here for a chain.
Right.
But this was a very interesting piece. It almost looked like lipstick, or
yeah.
I believe it's a bullet. It's made to represent a bullet.
Well, and they do other things besides just jewelry too.
Oh, absolutely.
You have a couple pieces up here. There's a money clip and some silverware.
Yeah, right here.
Which is, that silverware is awesome.
Yep. And again, it's marked on the back, I believe. Maybe it's not.
I don't know. I just know it.
Yeah. But you can tell it's real. And then this money clip, I believe I bought, I don't know, $5 or $10, maybe $5. It's sterling silver with a piece of turquoise in it. So, you know, this is taken years to acquire, just a little piece at a time. I'll show you some stuff here. Now, when you see chipped turquoise, this is actually collectible now. And it's set in real sterling silver, and there's some red coral chips in there, and it's set in resin. Be careful. There's some of that's chipped, reconstituted or chipped, but it's not set in sterling. It's set in just pot metal or costume metal, and so beware of that. Make sure if you get a piece, you can see on the back of this is sterling silver. You can just tell once you start learning sterling silver.
Sterling silver smells.
Yeah. Now here's a piece. You notice the back of this bolo. It's jet black, but this is sterling silver. This is just from tarnish. This thing hasn't been cleaned in a long time. This is an older piece. It's marked, and it's done with the chips. So, you know, all I gotta do is polish that up and it'll be bright and shiny and pretty. But I just wanted to show you how silver over time will turn black. And so when you're looking at jewelry, a lot of times when something's black, people think it's of no value, and really it's just tarnish that will polish up. And here's an example here of, you know, once this is polished, you know, it's going to go from looking like this, from black, it'll polish up to look like this silver right here. So this is a key to look for, and I have seen silver even take on, when it first starts to tarnish, it'll take on a goldish hue. It'll almost look gold plated, and it's just a form of oxidation that's starting before it goes to black. But that's a piece that's cleaned up. But like I said before, just clean the surface. And what I use is this little, these are getting hard to find, the good ones. It's just a jeweler's cloth. It's got some type of jeweler's rouge inside. It usually has a start side and then a finish side. And I'll just rub the piece on the surface.
No, don't do that one. Do one of my rings.
Oh, you want one of your rings cleaned up? Let's find one that needs a little cleaning. Let's do this one here. Now, this is a beautiful finger ring. Look how long this ring is. And there again, see, it's triple banded. It has 3 bands, goes into one. It's triple banded. And again, it's got the leaf work and the tendrils and the little water drops in there.
That's my favorite.
Beautiful ring. But you can see it's a little tarnished. So what we do is just take this, hold it in your hand, and we rub it a little bit with my thumb. Just rub it back and forth. Now, if you use they got these new silver keeper, you know, jewelry boxes that are impregnated with an antioxidant that keeps the corrosion down. It'll keep the silver looking nice and shiny. But you'll see.
Always keep your pieces.
But you'll see the difference there, and that's just by rubbing.
Yeah.
You know, and here's the other side I didn't rub. So, you know, just rub the surface. Don't get that black out of there, please. And so I hope everybody's learned something from this. And don't forget, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't know what the giveaway is going to be, but it is going to be good. Like you can see here, we have turquoise. I got gemstones. I got a silver collection we're going to do videos about. We're just trying to educate people. I want somebody to learn from this. And we're going to do a pan shot here, just a slow pan, to let you kind of take this in and really look at this. And remember, look for this when you're out in these stores. And then what I'd like you to do is go online and do some, you know, Native American comparisons for jewelry. And be careful with the word American Native style. That's a lot of that knockoff stuff. Just do old pawn or real authentic Native American jewelry, and you know, see what something like this would sell for. See what a bolo sells for, and things like that. Maybe a ring all by itself. Just go in there and do comps on something like this, and see what this kind of stuff's going for. I believe these are little peyote buttons, like little cactus buttons that they replicated. But do some comps, and like I say again, leave something in the comments or email us, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Just trying to get to 100 subscribers. You know, we can't know it all. We just know enough to be dangerous. And
just like, comment, and share.
Yeah.
Share with all your friends.
That's right.
And when you go over and watch the videos, don't forget to give us the thumbs up and click that subscribe button.
Please.
Please.
And look for the marks. Look for the stamp marks in there.
Right.
And get yourself a loop.
Yep.
This is a little loop here. This is a jeweler's loop. Now this is a quite expensive one. This is a Bausch & Lomb. I believe We checked and they're around $40, but you don't have to have a Bausch and Lomb. There's some ones that work just as good. And what that allows you to do is get in there and see those marks. So, you know, when we go out, I'm wearing this. It never comes off my neck because I never know when I'm going to come across a piece of this. We found some of this in the oddest places. We've had people come up to us, you know, pumping gas at a gas station, and somebody walk up and say, hey, I need $5 or $10, and show me, you know, bring out a piece of turquoise mixed in with a couple other kind of things. So always have your loop with you. Always, because that's going to let you see things that these things can't see, but this can. And this is going to make you money. And get your loop, please. So for now, just like, share, subscribe, get us to 100 subscribers. And if you know somebody, go check on somebody. Just say hi to them, tell them you love them.